Hey everyone, it's Tony from Mr. T's Toys, the place to review and discuss vintage and modern toys, and geek out over fandoms from today and yesterday. And today, I brought out a couple of my Scooby Doo figures. Scooby Doo and Mystery Inc., Mystery Incorporated. I think most of us know who Scooby Doo is. These Scooby-Doo toys are actually really nice. I think these ones, there's a couple different versions of these, but these ones were 2003, I want to say. Yeah, 2003. Scooby-Doo goes back a long way. I mean, I believe 1969 was the first Scooby-Doo. Scooby-Doo, Where Are You? And it was Joe Ruby and Ken Spears, I think, are credited with creating Scooby-Doo. Essentially, it's this silly talking dog and his friends, and they go out and solve mysteries. And usually there's some type of supernatural enemy causing some trouble, and it's a ghost or something, and pretty creative villains that they came up with over the years, but they typically are just some person in a mask. So I remember watching Scooby-Doo as a kid, and whether they've had a number of different series. They had Scooby-Doo and Scrappy-Doo, which is a little cousin of Scooby-Doo. They had these cartoons, throughout the 70s, throughout the 80s. Quite famous voice actors. Frank Welker has done, I think, Fred since inception, and then took over as Scooby later on. And Casey Kasem started with Shaggy, back in '69, and throughout many of those early series. I have to tell you, my favorite Scooby-Doo, and when I actually got into Scooby-Doo, was as a parent. So as a kid, I wasn't really too compelled to watch Scooby-Doo. It was kind of funny and goofy, I guess, but I was really just interested in G.I. Joe and superheroes. Maybe some Transformers, He-Man, Thundercats. But if it didn't have fighting, it really wasn't something that I was interested in. So as a kid, so it wasn't till I was an adult and I had my own kids, and in particular, there was the Scooby-Doo Mystery Inc., which was from 2010, and I think there was 52 episodes of that over 2 seasons, where there was some continuity in the story. There was an underlying plot, and it was a little darker, and maybe there was some supernatural stuff as well. It wasn't just a person behind a mask. There was still some of that, but it was entertaining for kids, but tailored for adults. And then I went back because my kids ate that up, and I got them, we started watching the Scooby-Doo Where Are You from 1969 and the subsequent older series, and they actually enjoyed those, and I appreciated them more as an adult. I think that's probably some of the brilliance with Scooby-Doo over time, is that Hanna-Barbera was one of the first that really did a good job of having a compelling story for a kid, but then there was something in it for a parent. They saw that maybe the parent would be watching it as well. And I know Pixar has done that since, but yeah, no, for me the Scooby-Doo Mystery Inc. was fantastic. And then another one that came out in 2019, which I thought was quite good, was Scooby-Doo and Guess Who, and that one was fun because it had guest appearances of actual stars, and they were animated and brought into it. So folks like Ricky Gervais, or the guy who played Urkel, it was Urkel was the character, was in there. So it was kind of fun to have these celebrities that came in. So just to kind of go over the characters here. So this gal here is Velma Dinkley. And it was a pretty good toy, actually, some good articulation. And she was kind of the brains of Mystery Inc., figuring things out. She always kind of solved the mystery. Beside her here, we've got Daphne Blake. And, Daphne was, usually she was used as kind of the bait for some trap that were they boyfriend, girlfriend? Well, it depends on what show you're watching, but Fred Jones here, he was the trap maker. He was the strong, tough guy, the guy that he wasn't afraid of anything. But then he was a little bit clueless when it came to recognizing Daphne's affections. And then my favorite is obviously most people's favorites, I think, would be Shaggy and Scooby. So Shaggy Rogers was just kind of a hippie from about in 1969 and the 70s series. He was kind of a hippie, but in the more modern versions of Shaggy, he's just he's more of a vegan. He's just kind of a hipster, but very simple and just loves to eat. And so does his dog, Scooby Doo. And Scooby and Shaggy would typically get very scared of things and have to be enticed to help out the team with food, Scooby snacks. So, definitely there's not very many toys out for Scooby Doo and Mystery Inc. You can see just a couple that I've taken from my kids' collection here to film a video. The Mystery Machine was their van. This is a very kid-centered toy. It opens up and there's some details inside. I'm not going to get into. There's a haunted house. They're always going into haunted houses. So there was the haunted house toy that came out. We've got some pieces missing, but it makes good background. Fun toys, but the best toys that came out, and my youngest, we got him the whole set, but it's actually from Playmobil. They came out with a mansion. They've got the Mystery Machine. They've got all of the main figures, and then they've got a bunch of blind bag ghosts, and they're all those 2-inch Playmobil size, kind of like my Ghostbusters from behind here, right? So they're little. They look like that. So. I had a lot of fun playing with those with my youngest, but for me, the ones that I probably want to keep here at Mr. T's Toys are the more traditional figures, and they haven't been making those for like 20 years, despite the movies that have been coming out time and time again. The 2 live-action movies were fantastic. In 2002 and 2004, we had Scooby Doo and then Scooby Doo 2, Monsters Unleashed. And we had actors like Freddie Prinze Jr. playing Fred. We had Sarah Michelle Gellar playing Daphne. We had Linda Cardellini playing Velma, and we had Matthew Lillard playing Shaggy. They did fantastic jobs, and the voice was done by the voice of Scooby was done by Neil Fanning, who did a very good job. Now I am compelled to do my best Shaggy and Scooby impersonation for you guys and act out something, but I promised my kids that I wouldn't if they don't want me doing that on camera. So I'll have to do that for you in person if our paths ever cross. But for now, I'm going to go back to playing with the Mystery Inc. here, and I hope you enjoyed my video on Scooby Doo. And if you did, please like and subscribe.